Happy New Year, everyone! New year, new camera, same me. Let's get into the top New Year's resolutions for gamers. So these are kind of ones that I feel are really good resolutions to have, maybe something to kind of try throughout the year and kind of broaden your experience when it comes to the world of gaming. If you enjoy gaming content as well as JRPG, Dragon Quest content like top 10 videos, reviews, podcasts, guides, all that good stuff, please remember to like, subscribe, turn notifications to all so you don't miss the next video. You can also hype the video on mobile to help boost it and help me out so much. Now let's begin. All right, so the very first New Year's resolution that I recommend you guys picking up is, of course, tackling that backlog. Every gamer has a massive freaking backlog, especially us JRPG players, because the games are quite a bit longer than most other genres. So pick a couple games right at the start of the year and kind of map out when you want to play them. The best way I kind of do this is I try and figure out when my most anticipated new releases come out and kind of schedule my year that way. For example, we've got Dragon Quest VII Reimagined coming out. I think it's February 5th. So I'm not going to try and play something massive in January in case it runs over past January into February. I'm going to keep something small. After I finish Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, now I can get into some other big games that I've been wanting to play, like Digimon Story Time Stranger and stuff like that. So kind of just plan out your year. That's kind of what I do. And obviously you can shuffle that around as the year progresses, depending on situations. Maybe you'll have a change of heart. There's a game you really have an itch to play, or there's a new game that comes out that you didn't even know was coming out. But for the most part, that's kind of how I draw things up so I can tackle that backlog. Next up, I recommend broadening your horizons by trying a game from a genre you wouldn't normally play. The best way to do this is to kind of ask some of your friends. If you got friends that primarily play survival horror games, ask them what some of their favorites are, or even ask them which ones would you recommend newcomers to the genre play if you don't like specific aspects of that genre. They can kind of narrow that down for you, pick out a game in that genre, and expand your horizons to maybe checking out new games that you wouldn't even thought of playing earlier. Another good way is honestly just see what games have demos available. There's a ton of games that have demos on either like the PlayStation Store or the Nintendo Switch Store. I don't know if Steam does demos. Let me know down in the comment if Steam does demos, but it's a great way to kind of get a feel for the game before you throw some money down on it. I know gaming is more expensive than ever now, but it's a nice way to figure out what games in that genre you might want to check out. I do have some recommendations. So for like first-person shooters, to me, greatest first-person shooter of all time is Titanfall 2. Very like single-player driven. If you're a fan of JRPGs and you don't really play first-person shooter games like me, Titanfall's story and gameplay are absolutely phenomenal. The character work, your abilities, and how you kind of work together with this like mech, it's just so well done. And I never found it like ridiculously hard either, which, I mean, I guess you could probably turn the difficulty up if you wanted, but I think I played on like the normal difficulty. I didn't have too much trouble, and I am terrible at first-person shooter games. When it comes to like action platformers, or as we called them back in the day, side scrollers, I'd recommend like Mega Man 2. It's something that gets your foot in the door. It's quite a bit easier than a lot of the other games in the series, and it's still one of the best, and some would even consider it the absolute best Mega Man game. So yeah, just pick a genre that you might be interested in. Either watch somebody play a stream of it, or find a spoiler-free review, or ask us. Put it in the comments. Put in the genre you would like to play, and we'll recommend the games that we think are best for newcomers to that genre. But yeah, I feel like broadening your gaming horizons is a huge thing. It opens you up to so many new great games that you never would have even thought of experiencing. The next New Year's resolution that I recommend everybody do, or at least try out, is revisiting or checking out an older console. So many people got into gaming either like at the PS4 era, PS3 era, but it's nice to go back and experience where everything came from, because there are a lot of absolutely incredible games that are retro games. Check out my Doogie03 Retro Gaming channel for all things retro gaming. But yeah, you definitely want to go back. You want to see where a lot of these games that you know and love today got their roots. And like I said, some of these games are absolutely legendary. It's definitely worth going back and experiencing these games as they were originally, because a lot of times they've had like remakes as well. Like something like Final Fantasy VII Remake is like not a remake at all as far as I'm I'm concerned. And if you really want the original experience as it was originally intended, that's something like that I strive for all the time, especially when it comes to remakes and remasters. I want them to be as authentic to the original as possible, or maybe add things, but don't take things away, if you know what I mean. So for example, someone like me, I love the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, not the biggest fan of like the Dawn of Souls collection on like the Game Boy Advance, because they changed too many things to me. So even small changes like that kind of drive me crazy, so it's nice to go back and play kind of some of the originals, or at least a remake that stays true to the original. So yeah, check out like Final Fantasy VII, the original. Of course, pick up the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. They're all absolutely incredible. Play Doom and Doom 2 if you're a first-person shooter guy. See where all the greats that you know and love came from. Next up, I know everyone knows someone who does this, and I'm one of the people that do this all the time. Check out a game that one of your friends is constantly gushing over. I know I'm always talking about like Dragon Quest XI is the greatest game of all time, because it is. But listen to your friends. It's gonna make your friends feel better because you're checking out this game that they love so much, and you're gonna be able to like have great conversations about this game while you're playing through it, and then again once you finished it. I know my good friend DG Online recommended playing the Xenoblade Chronicles series. I would not have touched that series if not for his recommendation. And I just remember just gushing over like the story features of Xenoblade 1 and 2. And then when 3 came out after we had both played 1 and 2, it was just like incredible. It feels so good to talk about what you love in these games with others. I mean, that's basically what I do here on the channel. So yeah, pick one of your closest friends' favorite games that you've never played before and fire that game up, give it the old college try. Maybe it's not for you, but at least then you know. So check it out. There's a reason they're gushing over these games, you guys. Let us know down in the comments the one game you are constantly gushing over, so people in the comments and myself can maybe check that game out as well. And then the number one New Year's resolution that I highly, highly recommend you guys do is to go back and revisit a favorite game of yours. If there's a game that you absolutely love and you haven't played in years, now is the time. This year, make it a priority to go back and replay one of your favorite games of all time, because hey, you love that game so much and maybe you haven't played it in like 5 or 10 years. Now is just the perfect time to kind of go back, take in everything you loved about that game. I know I play Dragon Quest IV probably once a year, so that would not qualify for me, but even something like Dragon Quest XI, I've played it 3 times, but I haven't played it since probably like 2020. It's been 5 years now since I played my favorite game of all time. So it's definitely something that I've been like itching to do, is to go back and play my favorite, and I feel like that's something everyone should do. If there's a favorite game of yours, you haven't played it in quite a few years, take some time, set some time aside to go back, revisit those feelings you had the first time you experienced it, and maybe you'll pick up some things that you didn't pick up the first pass through. Heck, Dragon Quest VII is one of my favorite games of all time as well, and thanks to Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, I get to do that in some kind of like a reimagined remake. So I'm really looking forward to playing through Dragon Quest VII again. Last time I did it was when the 3DS remake came out, and then before that was quite a few years beforehand, Dragon Warrior 7 on the PS1. It's really tough to make this time, but it's so important to do so. It just makes you feel so good. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe, turn notifications to all, hype the video. If you want to support the channel, join the channel, become a member. You get early access to some videos every now and then, and I just appreciate you guys so, so much. So thank you so much for that. I'm also streaming at least 3 nights a week, both here on YouTube as well as on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Dookie03. Like I said, if you're into retro games, check out my alternate channel, Dookie03 Retro Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.